big ones or medium-sized ones or whatever. All right, and we're live. Welcome, everybody. This is the Comedy Workshop, episode number 453, a very special and unlucky Friday the 13th edition. I don't know why I said unlucky, because it doesn't get much better than this. We've got an all-women lineup tonight. Yeah, magic's about to happen, guys. Put your black cat in the kennel. Go punch a mirror. I don't give a shit. Scratch a lottery ticket afterwards, but it is all winning tonight. If you've never seen the Comedy Workshop, I'm going to tell you what's about to go down. We have a panel of comedians, and we've all been given a writing prompt in which we are to prepare 3 to 5 minutes of material on, which we will then present to each other. After we present our set, we will then go in a roundtable order to give some feedback, either adding tags, giving constructive criticism, or just punching those jokes up to make them a little bit better. Either way, we are helping each other be funnier people. After we finish that first round on our random writing prompt, we will be delivering jokes that we've written on our own time that we either just want to make better or that aren't hitting the way that we want, and we just got to fix those broken fuckers. So anyways, this is a comedy safe space. We're allowed to say whatever the hell we want. Some of it's going to be funny and some of it might be offensive. But this is the space for it. So if any of it is not friendly to you, I guess, I don't know, die mad about it. But don't hit us in the comments. Hecklers aren't cool people, but comedians are. So let's get this shit going. In true Comedy Workshop fashion, I haven't written a goddamn thing for it. So it's also kind of fitting, though, because I am subbing in tonight to host. Our usual Friday night host is Kevin Eggleston, but he has a very important show tonight. So Kevin, smash sets, break legs, tell Steve hi. So I'm a sub-in host, and I actually didn't even think to go, hey, what's my word, until like 4 hours ago. Very fitting that my writing prompt is forgetfulness. So let's see what happens. I've already started the timer. Let's get this hoe on the toad. There's a lot of things in my life that forgetfulness has been a major player in, like forgetting my birth control pill 3 times in 1 month. I've got an 18-year-old now because of that one. It's super awesome. And let's see, forgetting to pick him up in kindergarten, that resulted in a few awkward phone calls. Forgetfulness and momming doesn't really mix. I actually hate that. That's not even a joke. See, this is why I should write stuff. Forgetfulness doesn't pay off in comedy. I'll tell you that much right now. Let's see, forgetting things to be forgotten. I guess forgetting birth control. Let's just keep going there. So they give you a pack of 30 pills to do in a month. Now, I'm not the best person when it comes to remembering things, especially medications. So remembering to take my Adderall is like, amazing. If I remember that, chances are I'm going to remember everything else. However, if they could just put Adderall in birth control, I'd be more likely to remember that. Because I know that my day is going to be screwed if I don't remember to take something to make this brain work the way it's supposed to. However, we don't really have the forethought to consider how the next couple decades are going to go if we forget to take the birth control pill. So remembering is key. Shit, none of this is funny. Let's see where we can go. Forgetting things in the oven. Let's connect that to forgetting birth control, forgetting a baby in the oven. That could be bad. Let's see. Bun in the oven, pregnancy, bun in the oven, forgetting a bun in the oven, burning the bun. I'm just kind of doing a conscious link of thought here, hoping that something funny happens. Nothing funny is happening. It's been about 3 minutes. Shit. Let's kindly forget that this set ever happened. Let's see. 'Cause shit. I forgot to do my homework. Yeah. We're setting the bar very, very, very low. So yeah, we're gonna call that. That's 3 minutes of absolutely horrible bullshit. I did say a couple things that somewhat made sense, so let's see if we could turn them into jokes. Let's do some feedback. Julia, what do you got?
What do you think about you talked about leaving a bun in the oven, forgetting to show up to your appointment to get induced? I think that could be funny.
I actually was thinking, like, it didn't seem tasteful enough, but I was like, forgetting the birth control pill, forgetting your appointment at the abortion clinic, forgetting. So it was like, that was along the conscious thought. I kind of dropped it. I do love that, forgetting the induction, which then leads to the burnt bun.
Right. And that
I
came
love
from the
that.
bun in the oven idea.
I love that. That's actually way more tasteful. I mean, burnt buns taste like shit, but that joke settles a little more. It's palatable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then let's see. So you talked about Adderall, if they could mix Adderall into your birth control pills.
Mm-hmm.
You could expand on that because I have ADD too. I take something else, but like I usually don't forget to take my Focalin is what I take because I feel so much better when I take. I mean, it's a little bit addictive. It's like I'm addicted to being normal, right? So like,
Exactly.
I'm like, why do I feel like shit? It's like, what can I put in my mouth to fix this? Alcohol, coffee, ADD meds, like one of those things. So that I think that's a funny concept to mix it in with your birth control, but that would kind of go down like an addiction route, which is always funny.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so you said you forgot 3 times in 1 month, so you could talk about like, okay, in college, I would always cram for tests at the last minute, but you can't cram birth control. That doesn't work. That's it. That's all I got.
I really like that. I like the cramming birth control thing. Plan A, B, and C. Oh, multiple choice plan. It's plan multiple choice. See, magic happens even when you're forgetful and don't write a goddamn thing. Julia, thank you so much for that. Tara, feedback. What do you got? Oh, I'm sorry. Julia, any more feedback before we move on? Awesome. Tara, what do you got for me?
So I really liked the idea of the addiction route that Julia was mentioning. That you're like, that maybe you could be, if you wouldn't forget taking your ADHD medicine and your birth control medicine if it was just mixed in with your cooking, because you never forget to rail that, I guess. Self-deprecating humor, I guess. Then there's also, I left the bun in the oven. Like I forgot the bun. I forgot my baby. I forgot about my baby somewhere. The dog ate my homework. A dog ate my baby.
The dog ate my baby.
And then
it's a dingo.
Yeah, exactly.
Terrible. I just had a terrible thought. But what about like leaving your baby in the car? That's so terrible.
Yeah, baby in a hot car.
Baby, stop screaming. The cookies are done.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to use that, but it was in here and it had to come out here. Okay, sorry, Tara.
Comedy safe space.
Okay. Well, you're helping Julia because, like, I'm also thinking of like, remember that horror movie where they put the dog into the microwave?
Yes.
And then you could be like, oh, is this a so and so movie? I forget what it's called. Like, I know what you did last summer. Is this my life? Yeah, just relating it to a horror movie and then being able to relate. Yeah, a horror movie to like, I can't believe I take my birth control and it's a horror situation. I'm sure your son is lovely.
my son is awesome. I'm actually feeling very robotic right now because your sound keeps cutting out, yet I'm still understanding you. It's like I've been working a fast food drive-through my whole life. I've been prepping for this moment.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Now I can.
Okay.
No, shit, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. I took my Adderall today, I swear to God.
Your cocaine, you'll never forget.
Man, if only I took drugs other than what was prescribed to me, I might be a more fun person.
That's what the cool kids are doing.
I've never been a cool kid, man. I fucking love where you're going with that. That is beautiful.
Thanks. I've never been a cool kid either. I know. Everyone's like, oh, I was a dork in high school. You know, everyone says that, but like, you know, sometimes it's true. That's it.
Awesome. Love every bit of it. Victoria, feedback from you.
So I was gonna make an abortion joke, but is way better. What Julia said about induction, I really love it. I don't know if you want to go that route, but it's always funny to me, like forgetting that you have your period, like forgetting, like when you get your and you're like, oh shit, I forgot that this happens. To me, right?
Yes.
And then forgetting the Adderall, that was really, I thought that was a really good route. And then you were saying you should have Adderall and birth control, and I was thinking like that's kind of your multivitamin, your women's multivitamin. And then she was saying like you should snort it. Right, Tara was saying like with cocaine and stuff, and like you could have like a cool kid thing, like, oh, I snort my birth control, you know, backstage or something. Do you guys want some? I don't know.
Who's ready to fuck?
You want to go in the bathroom and snort some birth control?
Now, if we take that with like something that Tara was saying, I could be snorting it with my kid and then be like, oh shit, I forgot I'm your mom.
Yeah.
Cool mom.
You're cool mom.
I am a cool mom. I just don't give my kid drugs. All right. They're expensive and I don't share. All right. Oh my God. Victoria, I love that. The women's multivitamin. See, okay, Adderall in birth control is something that I just riffed, and we now have a shit ton of feedback on it. You guys are fucking valuable.
I really like the women's multivitamin. I think you could add a third thing in there. So it's like Adderall, birth control, and folic acid, maybe. You know, that's your women's multivitamin.
Yeah. Calcium.
Yes. Yes.
Do women take folic acid so that their child doesn't have a cone-shaped head or a pointy head?
Spina bifida.
Oh, spina bifida. Okay. So, oh God, I don't want to make fun of disabilities, but you could also riff on what was that disease that pregnant women were getting? Their child's head would be like pointy, and it was trending like maybe 5 years ago.
The mosquito virus, Zika virus.
Yes,
Zika.
It was Zika babies.
Zika. That could be a funny thing to like bring up again. New. Re-hyping it, bringing it back, sort of thing.
Yeah. If we, let's see, we could make that palatable if we like connected it to like cone heads or something.
Yeah.
Like Beldar's baby or,
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. Okay, Zika babies and cone heads. There's a definite connection there, and there's a joke.
Aykroyd. He's Canadian, yeah. That's all I know.
See, now right here, KD, yeah, you are having some serious regrets you didn't sign up for tonight. We're talking about Zika babies, abortion, and putting Coke and Adderall and birth control pills. It don't get much darker than this. You know what? Let this be a word to the wise for when you guys are making the panel for the comedy workshop. Don't put a bunch of dark-ass women together. It's going to be really fun. That's what I'm telling you. All right.
I'm having a blast.
Oh my God. You guys.
By the butterfly sleeves. It's all a disguise.
It absolutely is. Julia, why don't you tell everybody how much you paid for that shirt, where you got it, and what it's made
on Poshmark. It's 100% silk, and I paid $20 for it. And I want everyone to know that.
What?
I definitely think that's worth sharing on a live feed. Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
You know what else is worth sharing? Julia, you are up next.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, tell me your writing prompt and when you'd like me to start the timer.
Okay, you can start it now. So my prompt was plot holes, and there's like one punchline and then just a lot of complaining, but it's fine. So, okay, so I have OCD, which is related to like anxiety disorders,
Mhm.
and I have ADHD. So sometimes they cancel each other out, and then sometimes the shit just really hits the fan. And this really, it rears its ugly head the worst when I'm makeup shopping, because there's so many choices. And like, I have been known to be like huddled in the corner at Sephora, you know, taking my dog Xanax that I left in my purse, texting my husband, like, come pick me up. Like, this is not good, man. I finally have just let him start picking my lipstick. I'm just like, I can't do this. Like, just fucking pick one. Like, I don't care. And, so I'll start, you know, just over analyzing like absolutely everything. So today I'm looking at eyeliners, right? And I'm like, okay, why does Clinique have two completely different, you know, eyeliner types, but then the colors don't match up at all? So it's like, if I want this color in this formula, it's not a fucking option. I'm like, there are plot holes in your makeup lines. Like, this is literally the first thing I thought of when somebody told me plot holes. I'm like, it's makeup. It's always makeup. I was looking at lipstick today, okay, and they have this, you know, nude lipstick line, and there's, you know, light, medium, and dark, but they're different finishes. I'm like, how? That doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't know if this bothers anyone else, but it drives me crazy, because what if I've decided on the color that I want, but I want a matte finish, and it's not a fucking option? I'm like, why? Why is this not an option? Because now I have to start over my entire decision-making process. That's really why I care. Because if I, for some reason, forget to snort my Adderall, I cannot, I cannot make a decision to save my life, because I don't know which parameter to start with first. That's always where I go wrong, right? So I'll go in the store, and I'm like, okay, I need a nude lipstick. And so I have 40 of them on my arm. I'm going in and out of the store to go check them in the sunlight, holding it up to my face, taking pictures of myself. I finally fucking pick one. I go back in there, and it comes in, you know, dry as ass matte. And I'm like, God damn it, I have to start over now on this entire color story. I'm like, if you could just have, you know, 10 colors that make sense. You don't have a bunch that are basically the same color. You're not missing huge holes, like there's no warm red, you know, and just have like, okay, you got a satin, you have a matte, you have a shiny, and they're all the same color. And then I'm done. So I told you, there's just gonna be a lot of complaining, but that's it. That's what I have. There are plot holes in Clinique's eyeliners, and I don't like it. So.
Oh my God. Julia, that was awesome. I very much relate to this horror story that you just told. Like, my OCD was kicking and I was panicking for you. I actually don't have much feedback because that was beautiful.
Thank you.
I love the part where you said taking your dog Xanax that you have in your purse. The only thing that I could think would be to change it to something like firework panic pills or something, like leave the actual name out and just be like, I don't know, the shit that we give them during boom boom time. But
like pretend like I can't remember the name of it.
You're in such a panic, you take a random pill that you're sure belongs to your dog. It might have something to do with fireworks. I don't know. But yeah, to kind of dumb that down, just, I don't know. I know enough people know what Xanax is. I just feel like there's a funnier combination of words to put in there. The color finish and everything fiasco. All I kept thinking was, yes, I know, right? Oh my God, I can never find Love Me Tender in a soft gloss.
You realize I'm going to go Google that now. And I'm going to be down a rabbit hole, and it's going to be all your fault.
Well, and that's why I'm a basic bitch. And I just go for the cherry chapstick. And I say, you know what? Fuck you, Sephora. Because this is, I need a dog panic pill now. And then with swatching on your arm and going outside and checking it, the only thing that I could that popped in my head was like, now I'm walking around looking like a damn henna model. So, yeah, that was all I have. Everything else just complimentary. I loved your set. Shit, now I need to go snort a something or another just to get over the panic that it induced. Great set again. Loved it so much. Tara, feedback from you.
So actually, as you were talking, Tara, about the swatching, I was just like, man, this is causing me so much anxiety. I might just start slitting my wrist. But that's where my mind just went. And it's not going to get any better with my other stuff here, but you're like, there's a complete hole in the cleaning line. They don't even have warm red. They're missing, ocean blue. They're missing, like, many countries in Africa, like, holes of, like, race. Because remember how there was a big fiasco about, like, not having darker colors? You could bring that in, too. Just a kind of edgy, like, hey, be better, but also, like, it's, and then also I wanted to say that I understand your anxiety about makeup. It's why I actually don't wear it, and I know that kind of comes off as like okay, but you don't need it, like, okay, like, you're so lucky, right? But it's also like, yeah, but I don't even shop for clothes. Like, I'll wear the same thing every day and just look like a homeless person. If it wasn't for my mom and sister being like, no, you need to, like, wear a different hoodie, Tara. Like, you need to more than a pair of jeans. Like, so that's what that reminded me of.
Oh my god, the cutting, that is fucking awesome.
That was really funny.
That is perfect. Fuck it, I'll just start slicing this one now. This it's my own blood.
That's just my soul.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's the only way that you'll find the right tone. You're gonna have to open a vein.
Yes. I don't know if my veins are green or blue. Let's find out.
Right? You'll be, oh well, this is all wrong.
This is all wrong. It just becomes war paint. You're just
Look at like Last of the Mohicans or something. Oh shit. Yeah, this is getting dark. This is a very good one. I'm glad we're all here tonight. Tara, any more feedback from you?
No, that's it. I actually might just pop to the restroom really quickly, but I'll be right back.
All right. Think of us while you're there. Victoria, you are up on feedback. What you got?
I don't really have much to add. I really like when you said dry ass matte. I don't know why. I just love that sort of visual. And then I think you should talk more about the colors, like make up names for like the eyeliners and the lipstick, like midnight black or soul sucking black, or like, there's dark black and there's light black. And maybe the same thing.
Like, what even is that?
I know.
It's a variant of evil for the souls.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just mild sinner black.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the same thing for like the reds and pinks. Like maybe like you could take like a board sort of like, or like, I want to get out of here pink, or a fuck off red, I don't know. And then I really love her joke about like the slitting the wrist. I was thinking more like the vapors, but the slitting the wrist is way better. It's way better. But yeah.
What, getting high from the vapors coming off of like interacting with the sun, or?
Oh no, like the ladies when they would get the vapors and just faint, like when they heard something shocking,
Yeah.
Take me to my fainting couch.
But yeah, I don't really have any other feedback. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I think that's helpful. I think there is more there to be done with the names of the colors. So I'll start brainstorming that.
Succubus black. Actually, no, succubus should be red. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't name demons. I don't color judge them either. I just picture like this kind of thing going on. And finally I just give up and it's good enough. How's that, honey? Oh my God. Awesome feedback. Awesome set. Julia, I hope you got a bunch of great feedback to punch those jokes up. That was fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm excited about this one.
I am too. Shit, I hope you bring it back again. I'd love to see its growth. Tara, we are on to you and your set. Are you ready?
Yeah, so I'm ready.
All right.
My word was blankets, and at first I was thinking like how Michael Jackson named his son Blanket. Oh, blanket, my beautiful blanket. That's kind of all I had about that. I just wanted to mention Michael Jackson, but the actual thing it reminded me of was when I was growing up, you know, my family and I, we didn't have a lot of money, so my brother and I would we'd go upstairs to get a bowl of cereal, and we'd fill our bowl with Fruity O's, which is like the off-brand fruit cereal. And then we didn't actually take a full bowl. We would just sprinkle 5 or 6 of them on top of our Rice Krispies, our President's Choice Crispy Rice. And then we couldn't afford milk, so we just moistened it with some water from the sink. And it was all good. Like we thought it was extravagant because the Fruity-O's, right? And so yeah, we didn't have a lot of money growing up, but we did have a bathtub and a blanket rack in our living room. And so the bathtub itself is a great conversation piece, right? And that thing would be a spaceship. It was the best place to hide and go seek. And then also we would take baths together in our living room, me and my family, and it was a nice time. We spent time together. But we also, the other really fun thing we had was the blanket rack. So also an amazing hiding place. We always had like a crocheted blanket that our Nana made, and nobody ever, like if you showed up late to watching, you know, whatever movie we're watching at night, and you had to use the crocheted blanket, it sucked, right? Like, it doesn't even keep you warm. It's got holes in it. I guess it's made of like an itchy sort of yarn, so it kept you warm in like an uncomfortable way. Sleeping bags, like I remember I used to trap my little brother in the end of the sleeping bag until he'd like cry and pee his pants. And but I'm just kidding. That was actually me. I peed my bed until I was 11 years old. And I remember waking up at 3 a.m. and giving myself a pep talk and being like, come on, Tara, you're double digits now. You can't be doing this. You're a grown-up now. You're almost a teenager. And just like sprinkling the baking soda to like absorb the urine. You know, like I think baking soda is also a super underrated household item. It has so many uses, like baking, absorbing urine, just is so underrated. Anyways, that's all I have for blankets, you guys.
Awesome. Tara, I feel like opening up with Michael Jackson's Baby Blanket, there's a lot of room to go into like a word confusion thing. Like,
yeah.
My brain went to like a baby shower and they're like, oh, here, I got you a baby blanket. And then Michael Jackson's like, baby blanket. Oh, what a perfect name. And so it's like my mind went into like, how did they get that name? And I just pictured like the gifting of a blanket. So there's definitely room to expand that. I liked the direction that you were going, and then my brain just went off the rails with it.
That name. That's a great premise.
You started it. I blame you. The bathtub in the living room, I would love to know more about. But I feel like there's an evolutionary thing that like it could start with like, you know, like a steel tub in the center of like a trailer, like a double wide living room or whatever. It's like, but now I'm in the big time and it's a hot tub in my trap house. I'm surrounded by bitches. And like, I feel like it's like a started from the bottom, now I'm headed to the top kind of story. And it's like, Yeah, I used to have a bathtub in my living room. Now I got a fucking jacuzzi in my trap house. Let's see. And then the crocheted blanket, it's like, I don't know if you noticed, but we were all like, yes. I think we all had one. Our grandmas, nanas, mimas, whatever. They all worked their little arthritic fingers to the bone, making us the equivalent of what is really just a wool prison blanket with moth holes. So it's, I that's all I could really like compare it to. It's like it's a prison roll with holes in it. It's Swiss prison blanket. It's but yeah, that's where I was going with it. Like some kind of crude comparison for the crocheted Afghan. Like somewhere there is something to name it that's just going to be hilarious as fuck. I don't have it right now, but it's out there.
I do have it has holes in it. Like the way that grandma did it was supposed to have holes because it was like flowers, right?
Mm-hmm.
It actually has holes because of the moths, the moths that ate it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like it was supposed to be a flower, but now it's a skull. It's a it's more hole than blanket now. But that's all the feedback I got for you on that. Other than that, fantastic fucking set. I got nothing but compliments for it. Julia. Oh, you're very welcome. Julia, we're on to you with feedback. What do you got?
So with the bathtub in the living room, I have lots of follow-up questions that I would love to hear the answers in your joke. But another way to go with that, I immediately thought like Russian bathhouse, like, cause that's, to me, it sounds nice, right? It's like everyone's talking shit, but it's like, hey, you're just jealous you don't have a Russian bathhouse. Like that's on you for, having a bad attitude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the blanket, we were all nodding. Like we all have those blankets that are made with love. And it's like, love is very itchy because they're all like that. They're all like that. And it's acrylic, cheap acrylic is the yarn you're thinking of. And it's all like that. And it all sucks. One other thing that popped in my head, it keeps you warm from the allergic reaction that you're having to it. Like if I get like a skin allergy, that's it. I thought it was all very entertaining, and of course the Michael Jackson thing. I mean, that's a kick in the pants. That's all I got. I'll hop in if I think of something else.
That's great. Yeah, I like the. Your love makes me uncomfortable.
Literally uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This blanket will keep you warm. Yeah, because my skin is on fire. Oh my God. Beautiful. Victoria, what feedback do you have?
So I really like the blanket thing. I think that maybe like he waited until the child was born to pick a name, and he's like, the child will pick his own name, and then the child was like pointing at a blanket or something. He's like, that's your name now, blanket. Or like,
sounds like I'm cold. Like, take better care of me.
Or like, those people that like they wait until the child is born to see what their face looks like, and like maybe they're like, blanket. Let's I don't know. I think
cover him with a blanket.
Yeah, cover him with like
these idiots.
And then so the milk thing, I related to that. My family would have watered down milk. But then like, it'd be funny if you were like, did your family have watered down milk? Well, we couldn't afford that. We just have water. Like, and then it's the same thing for like your bath in the middle. Like my family also used to share a bath. But then I thought it was funny that Julia said it was like the Russian bathhouse, because it's like it's either like Roman rich or like London in the 1900s poor and the 1800s poor. It's one or the other.
Mm-hmm. It all depends on your perspective, the context. Yeah. Context is everything. What year is it when you have this bathtub in your living room?
I'm picturing Charlie Bucket's house, like at the beginning of Willy Wonka. Mom's making cabbage soup, but then Grandpa Joe's also sitting in there taking a bath, and it's like, yeah.
Those pictures of they were kind of trendy in the early 90s, I guess, but they're just of like a mother sewing in a rocking chair, 2 kids playing, and then there would be a bath, or there would be a boy sitting in a bath and his mom would be pouring a bucket on his head, like, and it's like a loving photo, but you look at it after a while, you're like, this is a creepy thing. Yeah, or a little girl is like putting on a sock or taking a sock off for how old she is. It's like, why was this trendy? It's so sexual.
It really is. What were people thinking? That's what happens when you don't have access to the internet.
That's creepy moments that weren't actually creepy. They just looked bad. It just looked bad.
Yeah.
Olin Mills was wild, guys. What can I say?
Yeah. I can't even remember if it was me or one of my siblings split our face open in the lobby of an Olin Mills, and we had to go get stitches and come back for pictures another day.
Did they just have you like turn your head slightly to hide the wound?
I think mom rescheduled for a few weeks later. I could have sworn it was my brother, but I have a scar here, so now I'm thinking it was me. Anyway, sorry, that's off track.
That would have really messed up where you're like staring up at a 45 degrees smiling at an imposed photo of yourself.
Like Frankenstein stitches.
Like, man, my family couldn't afford Olin Mills. We had like the proofs from JCPenney photo where they like send it to you for free and it says proof really big. And my mom would be like, yeah, this is proof that we had family pictures together.
Yeah.
Proof that I cared. Oh, childhood neglect is fun. You know what else is fun? Victoria, you've got a set coming up.
Oh, and I forgot about that.
Jokes are fun. Why don't you tell some?
Sure, I will. I don't have a lot, but and it's very inappropriate, and I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry. So my topic was recording studios. And obviously recording studios are for recording things like music or comedy albums, not comedy albums, like audiobooks or music. I guess like some guy rapping about how he hates women, or some guy rapping about how he loves women, or some woman rapping about other women. It's mostly where people rap their opinions on women. I've never been to a recording studio, but I bet they have a bunch of records on the wall because, like, that's the theme, right? And everything is either velvet or leather. And probably there's a Russell Brand type person standing there somewhere, right? Because wherever there's a recording studio, there has to be a Russell Brand. He's like living the rock star lifestyle without ever making any music. That guy just cut right to the good stuff. And when you look at it that way, like the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, they're kind of idiots. You don't need to make music to have a drug and sex addiction problem, you know? You just need eyeliner and too much jewelry. Also, the British accent really helps. I poke fun at Russell Brand, but he's sort of my guru now. He's teaching me a lot about self-love. And speaking of British, did you ever notice that some men behave the same way around Asian women as some women do around British guys? Like, they're relentless and creepy and full of admiration for no reason at all. And by some women, I mean me, 100% me. I'm a sucker for a good British accent. They can colonize this wild country anytime. They can civilize my nation, slap a red cross on me, and unionize my jack. That didn't make any sense. Dip your Earl Grey in my cup. They can make me bow to the queen anytime. Fun factoid about England. It's actually part of the United Kingdom, but not Europe. I don't know. I don't watch soccer. Speaking of soccer, they can score a goal in my net any day. It's weird because when I say they, it sounds like I'm talking about the entire nation, and like, am I? I'm not even sure at this point. Because they can slap some oatmeal on me and twist my Olivers because mama needs a daddy. Please, sir, can I have some more? I really hope that wasn't a sad scene in the movie because I didn't see it. I just get really riled up when we talk about the British. That's all I have.
Yay! Yay!
Oh my God, Victoria. Okay, before I forget, hang on, I gotta write Spice Girls.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Don't get ahead of me. We'll get there. Okay. Shit. Though so much just happened. I loved every bit of it. Okay. The recording studio, fucking loved it. As soon as you said velvet or leather, my brain went to a Wayward casting couch. Like in the recording studio area. But then I was like, okay, so what does the rest of this recording studio look like? And I started panning around, and you got like a random pile of drugs just on like a glass coffee table. There's like a leather jacket that was left there, possibly by Keith Moon. It's still got vomit on it. We'll test it later. And it's just like, it all started with a casting couch and it went downhill from there. But Russell Brand is there, who's now the self-love guru. And I pictured him like wearing like freaking namaste tapestries and shit. And like,
he does that now.
I know. And like self-love guru, I'm getting a visual of Mike Myers in The Love Guru as I'm saying this. And I'm just like, oh my God, he just like probably reeks of patchouli and sex now, but that's okay. I don't kink shame. Let's see. All of the things that you were doing with the tea and the British were cracking me up. The only one that I could add to it to even throw in a tag at you is I'll steep that in my harbor. Your Oliver Twist references, awesome. The whole movie's a sad scene, so it's basically like, did you guys ever see that one funny ass movie, Old Yeller? Oh shit, that ending, that's a knee slapper, man. But there's like this whole thing where there's like a constable or like the orphanage guy, whatever. But he's singing this song where he's like saying "boy for sale." So I feel like that could go in there. Like, please, sir, I'll have another. Where's this boy for sale? You know, it could go into like some kind of like prostitution thing where you're pimping out a boy gigolo or whatever. For some reason, my brain's also going to OnlyFans. I don't know why.
Maybe you would have an OnlyFans, you know,
mental health
modern day Oliver Twist.
Yeah, Oliver's Twisted fans.
Nice.
And then with that, you know, you're referencing all this British stuff. When you kept saying they, I was like, okay, so she's not discriminating against genders. Fuck it, let's get kinky for the Spice Girls too. And so that way, just to throw another little Brit thing in there, you got 5 saucies ready to go. That is all of the feedback that I have for you. That was a fantastic fucking set. I actually couldn't stop laughing long enough to write any more than that.
Oh, thank you.
Loved it. Julia, what kind of feedback do you got?
Yeah, I love the whole thing too. And then I kept forgetting the first funny thing you said because you just kept saying another funny thing. Mm-hmm. So what the 3 bands you said, it was Beatles, somebody else, and Led Zeppelin. What were
the Rolling Stones?
Yeah.
The Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin.
Okay, so that was hilarious because they're like, I mean, they're really good bands. Like, it's not just anybody. Like, they're really good. And then calling them idiots is just so, so perfect. It's so perfect. And yeah, you don't need to make music to have a drug and sex addiction problem. That whole premise of like just skip right to the end is, I don't know what else to say. It's just so fucking great. I love the premise. I love the specific bands that you chose. The fact like I've listened to a lot of Led Zeppelin, and like I play drums and I'll listen to, John Bonham play. And I'm just like, I'm not even gonna try that. Like, I don't know how that's physically possible, so to spend, decades listening to that and then have you call him an idiot was just so funny. I was like, that's a good point. He could have skipped all of the ankle workouts, all of the double bass pedaling, and just skip directly to the end, which is where we're all trying to go. So I I love that.
So
like
dark.
As a musician, I was like, this is so fucking great, because I know how much work it takes, right? And just that juxtaposition of like decades of hard work and like, you're such an idiot, man. Like, you could have just skipped to the end where you're in rehab. So I thought it was great. And you said a bunch of other funny things and I forgot them all because I was laughing too much to write them down. You dating British guys, like the way that you did that, and by women I mean me, like the tone that you had on that, like you turned it self-deprecating, like just in time. And like your tone on that was like, this is recording, so you should go back and listen to it, but it was perfect. Like, it was a great punchline. It made it so that you weren't like talking down to anybody. Like, it was perfect. So I would say go back and listen to how exactly you said that.
All right.
Thank
you.
I'm going to second that. That's actually, very on point. I did notice that as well. Tara!
So I saw somebody just post a comment doing a play on words with rapping and rapping. So R-I-P, W-R-A-P. It just made me think of rapping opinions on women in the North Pole. You could just be, rappers rapping about rapping albums. It just made me think about rapping presence and how you could be rap. Anyways, it's stupid. But so being famous for no reason, you talk about Russell Brand, I'm just also like, okay, Kim Kardashian, like, she's so famous. And but you say, oh, Russell Brand, Kim Kardashian, but I actually love Russell Brand. He's taught me a lot. He's taught me this, this, and this. And I love Kim Kardashian. She's taught me a lot too. Anyway, just like,
I was just gonna say, like, I'm a huge defender of Kim Kardashian. I was like, watch your step.
So the reason why this came to mind is because I just watched a meme of her talking about her and Kanye West to her son, or her son or daughter, and she's like, your daddy is an artist, he's a producer, he's a singer, he's a rapper, he has so many gifts, and so does your mother. And she just like moves on to the next thing instead of like listing what they are. So that's actually a joke by Kim. She's making all your tags, just your tag after tag after tag, you just kept doubling down and again and again. That was brilliant, because it builds, right? It's more ridiculous. It builds and builds and builds, and like I was in stitches. It was so good.
Thank you. That's good.
Absolutely. I agree with all of that. 110%. Holy crap. You guys, that brings us to the end of round 1. So now we're going to go around again, and we are going to do another 3 to 5 minutes on something that we've already written, something that we're working on, or something that needs a little help. So let's get to it. Let's see. I'm going to do one of my favorite jokes that I'm working on right now. It's actually working really, really well on stages. So let's just see if we can't make it even better. Let's get to it. I think I already said that, but yeah, let's get to it. Okay. All right. So I had to go and be emotional support to my friend today as she cut curtain bangs. Like, yeah, I know. Like, they're so unique, just like her spirit. They go great with her crystal collection. Like, really, just sets them off. She is one of those girls that looks the way that Namaste sounds. Yeah. She's kind of like if Stevie Nicks shopped on wish.com. Yeah. It's what happens to your macrame if you get it wet and let it listen to Enya after midnight. It's okay, so you've met her. All right. So I was at her place earlier and she's up to her usual shit, right? She's got her jars and she's got her teas and she's got enough candles to make an altar boy nervous. It's just like I didn't even know she was Catholic, but whatever. And I'm afraid that we're going to set her tiny house ablaze. And then I'm like, oh, it's a shipping container. No worries there. So I'm making peace with the fact that we're not going to need a tiny fire permit. And then she goes, go ahead and get that. That's okay. She goes like that. And they all fucking light up at once. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. Whoa, it's Crafty. Do we have a call going on?
I literally just yanked the phone out. It's fine. Sorry. I just unplugged it.
I hear a guy's voice who let a man in here. That's not allowed today.
It's a freaking telemarketer and he leaves me messages and I hate him.
That's fucking beautiful.
I'm really sorry.
That's okay.
Continue.
All right. Okay. So let's see. We'll just go with she's got enough candles to make an altar boy nervous. And I'm like freaking out. And I'm looking around and she goes, and they all fucking light up at once. I'm like, holy shit. It's like The Craft. Like, this bewitched bitch of Eastwick is practically magic. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. And then she looks at me and she's like, oh, these are battery operated. Alexa, flicker. And then shit starts getting real. Like, whoa. All right, so we're either about to sacrifice me to the Energizer Bunny or we're holding a seance for the ghost of vibrators past. Like, which is it, Morgan? Because when mine die, I just turn in the warranty. Yeah. Oh, God, they have those now. Shit's high tech as fuck, dude. They are waterproof. They're rechargeable. They got Bluetooth because, sometimes you want to take your calls on the thing. And multitaskers have needs too. All right. That's all I'm going to say. But I hook it up to Spotify because, a playlist for every mood. So we've got we'll start the night with some nice, easy, elevator music and just, kind of massage the Kenny G spot, get it nice and primed for the taking. We'll move on to a little club remix Skrillex, which basically is like a vibrator getting gangbanged by a whole bunch of other vibrators. And then there's my favorite, which is called Another One. I turn it on and all you hear is DJ Khaled. And then I have multiples. Oh, wait, no. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. And then my legs go up and they stay there. Yep. And we'll cut it there. That's the bit. So let's open it up to some feedback, guys. Julia, what do you got for me?
Well, the first line, emotional support while she cut curtain bangs. That's great. I was trying to figure out, did she need support after she cut the bangs? Or, because usually that's when you have the most regret, right? Is right after you do it. But the point is the curtain bangs, right? Because it gets you into what your friend is like. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a great opening line because that's already funny. And I had to Google curtain bangs, immediately recognize them. But it doesn't matter if you don't know what curtain bangs are because everybody has had a bang, a drunken, I'm going to cut bangs. And you're like, shit. So it works either way. But yeah. I was glad that you went there with the witchcraft stuff because that's where my brain was going. And so what did you say? You said jars, teas, and enough candles to make an altar boy nervous. And that whole bit you went into after that was great. You could possibly add like another section in there, like make the candles like kind of its own thing, and then go, jars, teas, and because those are normal, right? Jars, teas, and then end it with something completely ridiculous like a cauldron of frog's eyes in the middle of the living room, like just totally to the just complete deep end. I just kept thinking of a cauldron in her living room. I don't know why. But it's a really fun bit. It's a lot of fun. Sacrifice you to the Energizer Bunny was great. I really like that because sacrifice is ridiculous and the Energizer Bunny is kind of cute, and then you start thinking about it too much, and you're like, I mean, that's a really big bunny. Like something's kind of off about that guy. Like maybe that's how he got so tall, was human sacrifice. Does anyone know? Like anyway, that's it. That's all I got.
It just keeps going and going and going. Like there's got to be a secret there.
Yes. It can't just be batteries. It's got to be human blood. Like it has to be. I don't know what else it could be. So yeah, it's a fun bit. I like it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Apparently Grow Canvas Grow didn't know this was a call-in show.
Neither did I. Grow Canvas Grow.
Yeah. Caller, you're up next. You're on the air. What's your question?
I just want to say that, Julia, when you admitted to yanking the cord out of the fucking wall, I almost shit my pants.
The key word is almost. So it's like,
fuck that guy.
I'm so glad that this is recorded because that was a movie moment, and you just like reminded me of like, I don't know, fucking Sandra Bullock being like, like this. Anyways, that was really adorable and cute. Now, Tara. Okay, so who is this woman with the curtain bangs? Who is this?
She's a completely fictional character, but because I live in Seattle, she also exists on every street corner.
And so why were you seeing her? Why did you have to meet with her?
I was her emotional support as she cut curtain bangs. She needed a friend there to hold her
hand.
hand.
She needed a friend. Okay, because so I for some reason I missed that first part, and I thought that this was all just you talking about your vibrator or your masturbation experience, and it all like seemed to work. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. I like how you compared your vibrator to Skrillex. Skrillex just sounds like every vibrator having a gangbang, which is so true. Like, how do you dance to that music? It's like
you shove a vibrator up your ass and let it do it.
With a bunch of other people. Also, I have a funny thing just to add, because this is a pattern that I'm noticing. A lot of sober people that I've met who used to do cocaine or who are sober now, they talk about fucking loving that song Bangarang by Skrillex. They're like, all I did was play the first 2 words of it, and they were like, was that Bangarang by Skrillex? Like,
there's no words to that song though, I don't think.
No, it was like the beginning of it. It's like it starts out super chill, but they're like, was that Bangarang?
I know it. Know it, and I love it, and you're free to judge me, but guess what? It's been over 10 years. So
okay, so I had to share that because it just reminded me that. I love the DJ Khaled. Another one, all I do is win. They go up and they say that was like, I think you're doubling and tripling down on that because it's a really good reference on DJ Khaled. And then also you mentioned like Julia was mentioning like, okay, tea and jars, that's all very normal. Maybe you could just have, and then she had a cauldron full of bats. So like that's how we know where COVID came from. Like you could kind of like this sort of. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
actually like my brain's trying to think of like the creepy things that could be there, and now I'm like a Ouija board made of human skin, her ex and a jar of hexes, and
Yeah.
yeah, I love that. There's definitely going to be some growth in that area. Oh my
Right.
god, Victoria, what feedback do you got?
So I love the thing that you said about the macrame. That was really good. And the warranty on vibrators, I just wrote down like you could just tag it with like find out more on my lifestyle blog, and then just name the blog like
Follow me for more life hacks.
orgasms on a budget or something. I don't know. And then you said you were giving her emotional what's it called? I forgot. Emotional
Support.
Yes, thank you. I forgot what emotional support was.
It happens to the best of us.
You clearly don't need it. You have very sound mental health.
But in my head, I just kept going like it's not emotional feedback, but it's something. So I was just thinking like maybe you're like, oh, I held her hand throughout the whole thing. And then now she has bangs, so now everyone knows that she's been going through a tough year.
Mercury's been in retrograde.
Yeah. and you could say and then afterwards we went to get toe rings. I just thought about toe rings because they're so ridiculous. And yeah, for the weird thing in the house, I think it has to be something that has to do with her ex, because it sounds like that person is such a mess that it has to be a guy. Like there's a picture of her ex with like the eyes cut out or something like really violent, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. But other than that, that was great. And I don't really have much to add.
A cauldron of kombucha.
That's pretty funny.
I think
Yeah.
I'm like my brain is now trying. Okay, what's this witchcraft hippie shit? Where can I
Yeah,
go?
yeah.
And I'm like, crystals with DMT.
You could be like, oh, it's either meth or crystals. It's either jars of peas or jars of kombucha. Like you
I've
don't
tried
know.
taking the crystals and the meth route.
Yeah.
Depending on what audience I'm working with, depends on whether or not that's going to work. I've taken it to where her crystals are made of acrylic and she spells chakras with an S. Not everyone gets that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this joke's actually been very evolutionary, but every time we work on it, it gets better. So you guys are probably going to make it the best it's ever been. And I
like
appreciate it.
The cauldron of kombucha, because cauldron, you think you're going down a super witchy route, but then you say kombucha and it's like this girl like wants to be a witch, but like she's not. Like she's just too, I don't know what the word is, but she's too something, and you all know what I mean.
It's a Capitol Hill coven is what it is.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's like she's not actually evil enough. Like black's not her color, so she won't wear it, but she wants to be a witch. So that's the image that like a cauldron of kombucha. It's like
it's
a
Hot
wannabe
Topic
witch.
Wicca.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting premise of like she's a wannabe almost, like a poser. Like she's being pretentious.
Yeah.
She really wants to be like, you know, I don't know, going to yoga class and like having a fucking booster juice at Good Life. And I don't know, she wants to be this, but she's like trying to dip her toe in like the goth world. And so she got bangs. I don't know. She went through a breakup, or, you know, she got a cat. I don't know. I'm learning this premise.
No, it's not ruined at all. I love it. I don't know if it's hidden too much in the words, but her name is actually Morgan. Like I do drop a thing in there. I'm like, what are we doing here, Morgan? So like this is a sentient thing with a name. I don't know if it makes it through, but holy shit. I love where we're going with this. You guys, thank you so much for that feedback.
Yeah,
Let's keep the party train rolling. Julia, you are up. Throw some humor at us.
Okay, can you guys hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. You can start the timer whenever.
You got it.
Okay, so I think we need to start talking more shit about the dead person at funerals. Okay, it's all this like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But like, where was that attitude when you were arguing with them on Facebook? Like, you should have had that nice attitude then. By the time that you're at the funeral, like, if you want to talk shit, the funeral is the time, because they can't do anything about it now. Like, they can't kick your ass. You can say whatever you want. So that's what I think. Okay, so you guys all know, you know what pallbearers are, right? Like the people that carry the casket. And there's a math to this. You have to put the strongest people on the corners, because otherwise, if somebody's arm cramps up, then grandma is like candy rolling down a hill, and it's going to get real awkward real quick. So it's a very important job. And I don't know if you guys have heard of an honorary pallbearer. If you have, you're very bitter about it. Okay, so here's what this is. An honorary pallbearer is someone who could not be bothered to fucking show up, okay? But because they're a close friend or family member, they get their name in the program as an honorary pallbearer. Like, what the hell? Like, that's like an honorary designated hitter. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Carrying the casket is the whole job. So you need to either show up and help me or get off the fucking program. Like, I'm just saying, it's bullshit. When I'm dead someday, okay, I'm really worried about like who's gonna be on hair and makeup, because like my face is kind of crooked. There is no wiggle room for my eyebrows to go wrong. Like, I'm already, stenciling on my eyebrows so that things don't go completely crazy, which means I'm gonna have to, in my will, leave my eyebrow stencils to the mortician so they can get my eyebrows on straight. Because otherwise, that's an argument for cremation, right? Like, just burn immediately. Because I don't want to be laying in this casket looking like Owen Wilson at my own funeral. Like, that's just embarrassing. Tara liked that one. Okay, so I'm 37. It's not that old, but like, I cannot pull the all-nighters like I used to, like, visually speaking, okay? Like, if I have to stay up all night, next thing I know, I'm sticking my eyeliner pencil in an electric pencil sharpener, trying to get enough on so that I look half awake. And I spent up to, the most I spent on a moisturizer, $150, okay? I finally realized it's cheaper to just rub money directly on my face. It might sound like, I know it's, it's kind of dirty. Money's kind of dirty. It's a little gross, but the cocaine on the American money supply is like so good for dark circles. So I recommend that you all try it. Okay. So serial killers are bad, right? Okay. Like, most of them. The Unabomber, yeah. Okay. If you guys are not fans, his whole thing was he was anti-technology. Like, who has not wanted to put a bullet through their laptop? I mean, seriously. Like, I was on a Zoom call the other day, and I was like, maybe I've been watching too many Unabomber documentaries, but I would blow some people up to not be on this Zoom meeting right now. Like, I don't know if he was completely wrong. And now I'm laughing at my own joke. I really like that. Okay. So my parents have been married for 40 years. I think they're just playing the longest game of chicken ever. Like, who's going to quit first? And I get it. Like, I would stay married just to not change banks. Like, that's a huge pain in the ass. Like, there's something to be said for just, you never have to plan another wedding and you never have to open another bank account. So I will stick it out, man. Okay, so my family, both sides of my parents, they're German on both sides, like back, like just a couple generations. So we always think we're right. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard of this stereotype that Germans always think they're right, but Facebook's heard of it. Okay, so I downloaded a podcast about German culture, like just general German culture, and Facebook immediately starts giving me ads for counseling for obsessive compulsive disorder. That's a true story. That actually happened. you can really you can tell what's important to a culture by what they choose to teach you first in their language classes. So Duolingo German, the first lesson is das ist nicht richtig, which means that is not correct. And the whole first section is just how to conjugate telling someone that they're wrong. Das ist nicht richtig, that is not correct. Du bist nicht richtig, you are not correct. That's the whole first level is how to tell someone that they're wrong. Okay, that's it.
Awesome. Holy crap. Yes, I liked your eyebrows joke. What of it? Oh my God. Oh shit. To start off talking shit about the person at a funeral, all I could think was airing your grievances while grieving. Be like, that son of a bitch owed me money. He cheated on his first wife. I'm still not done being mad at him about that. And well, he kicked my dog when we were 5, kind of thing. But yeah, just airing grievances while grieving. The pallbearer placement is genius because I got a really good visual of just the game of Jenga that's going on there if one person's not strong enough. The honorary pallbearer thing, I pictured a whole argument playing out, kind of like that American Choppers meme where it's Paul Sr. and Paul Jr. arguing and pointing. It's you don't deserve to be on the program. I was his friend for 13 years. Well, you haven't talked for 23. I pictured something like that. That's not funny, nor is it a tag. That's just where my brain went. The line when you said, when I'm dead one day, all I thought was maybe, implying that you may not die. I might live forever. Death is not definite for you. We don't know this. The eyebrows and Owen Wilson thing, I don't ever think of Owen Wilson's eyebrows. I immediately think of his nose and the word wow. So the fact that you went off on his eyebrows, all my brain did was I am not going into the afterlife looking like Mobius. Fuck you. That I loved it because it was so off the wall and unexpected. I just about lost it. Rubbing money on your face. I actually started writing, because there's cocaine on it. And then you went there. I loved it. Let's see. Unabomber sympathizer. Why did I write this? Oh, I mean, because
you're going to report me and put me on a watch list.
I understand. I get it. I too have been there and people are awful. So yeah, I guess I too am a Unabomber sympathizer. I mean, what are you going to do? And then the German Duolingo is, God, I'm trying to figure out a way to correlate that with mansplaining. Just because it's, it's telling someone they're wrong, which is in a way I don't know, somewhere I see a connection between mansplaining, Duolingo, German, and just, broadening it across languages. I don't know exactly where to go, but I feel like there might be something there.
Mm-hmm.
That is all the feedback that I got. So let's move it along to Tara. Tara, what's up?
Oh, yeah. I just was writing down how the word German is very close to the word Juman. So, they're not that different.
Did you see German and Juman? That's what I heard.
Like I said.
They're the same.
Okay.
I don't know what they thought about.
Tara's done. She's like, we did it.
Okay. Yeah, she left. She's like, and thank you everyone for joining us.
Beverage.
So I liked how you started off by talking about how you're allowed to talk shit at the funeral, right? Because that place. So someone just passed away in the community in Calgary, and his name is Andrew Albert. And I didn't know him personally, but I did know. We were friends on Facebook, and that was the extent of it. So I must have crossed paths with him, and it was a terrible loss. But literally the same week that he died, I was talking to a comedy buddy of mine who I won't mention their name, but he was just like, yeah, well, you know what? He was a fucking asshole to me. Just like going off. And I'm like, dude, this is not the time. Like, wait a little longer. So anyways, I also wanted to say that my grandmother died in 2018, and she was like the matriarch of the entire family. Everyone was there. I saw my entire family because that's how much she mattered. Everyone went, like all 80 of us. And then my grandfather died a year and a half later, and like I think maybe 30% of the people went, just because he was kind of a miserable bastard, and like we're just like, okay, grandpa, like grandma already did that, like you're just following along, like all right, okay. So this also brings me to weddings. It made me think about my brother's wedding, how at the time that he got married, him and I weren't getting along, so he started mentioning people who came from very far and thanking them, and he thanked 3 other people and for coming, like, oh, from Ireland, oh, from Thunder Bay, which is in Ontario, and I came from Calgary, and then he mentions like, oh, from Orangeville, where we grew up, like he mentioned his basketball coach or something, and I'm just sitting there like, thanks a lot. Anyways, Owen Wilson, that was brilliant. And then also to finish off, the Duolingo, how it has like an alternate agenda. I've also felt this with certain apps, like, have you ever played Word Friends on Facebook?
Oh, yeah.
Long time ago.
Like,
yes.
Sometimes, like, I screenshotted so many words with friends because one time it said the word Detroit, garbage, dirty, black, and poor all on like the same board. Of course, there was like, stencil or, caterpillar, but it also had all these other words, and I was like, it's a little sus. It's a little suspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was
One last thing.
Yeah. I know that was a lot, but you made me think of a lot of things, and I love your flow and how many punches you had in there. You just kept me laughing, so thank you for that.
All right. Thank you.
Very awesome. Victoria, you're up with some feedback.
I like the honorary pallbearer. And I was just thinking, like, that's not, like, you could say, like, literally, it's not the guy you want to call when you have a dead body to get rid of. Right? Maybe you could go in that direction. And then the Unabomber, I really loved it. The jokes. And then maybe you could talk about, like, installing a printer. Like, have you ever tried to install a printer? Maybe you're not so different.
I like that. They're really trying to get people on board. Like,
yeah, with the Unabomber, and then
the paper jam.
Yeah. And then I thought also, like, if only BetterHelp existed, and then I'm like, but it's on the internet, so I don't know how you would access that, but it's kind of a funny, like, premise. In my head, anyways, it is, of the Unabomber trying to talk to a therapist online. And the German thing, that was really good. A good tag, I think, would be like, you learn the word actually before you learn how to say thank you.
There it is.
No. And the eyebrows thing, did you consider Mr. Beans' eyebrows?
I did not. I was kind of looking for somebody whose face is just all fucked up. And that's just, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I love Owen Wilson, but it's just like, what happened, man?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it wasn't necessarily like, I mean, I can think of a lot of people with like bushy eyebrows, but there's just something about Owens Wilson. Obviously he's broken his nose multiple times, but like the whole thing is just like a little bit off.
I was gonna say maybe you could go like I'd rather have his nose than his eyebrows.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's good.
Okay.
I don't know. But that's all I have. The funeral thing was good. Like maybe like you could be like you treat it like an open mic or like a roast, you know.
Mhm.
You just go up there and you give him hell. But yeah. It's kind of hacky. Maybe don't
Okay.
write that down.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Awesome stuff. Julia, again, great set. Tara, we are on to you.
All right. So start the clock at any time.
Hit it.
I don't know about you ladies, but I am on Tinder. And Tinder is a really useful app if you're looking for like a sperm donor or if you want to donate some sperm onto a baby back that you just met. And I think that I'm kind of like perfect for this app because I have like a stripper's face but like a whatever body. Like I lost the weight, but I haven't like tightened it up yet. Okay, I have like an amazing body for a 45-year-old mother of two, which is weird because I've been pregnant twice, but I don't have any kids, you guys. So I'm kind of an imposter. So I have tricked a lot of men into meeting with me because if you just take a picture from up here and you throw a filter on it, they can't tell you got mom arms. Again, I'm an imposter. So I've been attracting some people on this app. There is some sad boys. Sad boys, they listen to Billie Eilish unironically, like, cheer up, darling. I know your dick is short, but it's thick. You're going to be okay. Then there's also the sick boys. They're always just in their profile with a cast on their arm. Like, look, you're in your 30s and you do parkour. What were you expecting to happen? You never drink water. Take better care of yourself. Limber up, Then there's I also wanted to tag sick boys. Also, like, got my second vax. Like, ugh, get a Howie. So then the third tag to that is dirty boys. So dirty boys are my favorite, but I can't do it anymore, and it's too bad because they typically make the best lovers, but they just keep giving chlamydia back to me like over and over again. They don't know that they have it, their immune system is so high because they're just so used to living in squalor, they have no symptoms. So chlamydia is not actually a big deal, you guys. You take one pill and it's gone. It's like getting a cold on your dick, or like COVID, I guess, because that's a bit more topical. Can you imagine? Oh, I lost all my taste and smell. Probably a good thing since I'm dealing with dirty boys. Okay. So I'm going to close with this. I don't want to come up here and talk to you like I'm some sort of lacking self-awareness, hot girl. Oh, dating is so hard for me, la la la. I have no problem finding someone to date. It's finding someone to stay that is my problem. I think that falling in love takes a lot of guts. And I think that I might actually want to try it someday. I actually work with this one guy who's married. And the other day, his wife brought him lunch while him and I were on our lunch break. And she offered me a glass of lemonade, offering it to me like, here you go, sweetheart. I hope you drown in this. And I get it. I don't blame her. I don't like it if my husband was working with me for 8 hours either. But I'm not that girl. I'm really not. My dad was around when I was growing up, Okay, he was around enough. Like, if he had taken one more mistress, then I would have been like 2 bad decisions away from becoming a total streetwalker. And that's what I have. So, yeah.
Oh, you froze. Oh, there you are. You froze right when your set ended, so I was like, what? More joke? Tara, awesome set. I love the line stripper face and whatever body. That
Yes.
that is just beautiful. And like I have an amazing body for a 42-year-old mom. As a 40-year-old mom, I related heavily to the mom arms bit. Like I call mine bingo. I call mine bingo wings.
I swear, my shirt is so tight.
Yeah. The sad boy, sick boy, dirty boy thing. Now, are these the boys that are spelling it BOIS? Because that's a whole nother level of cringe.
Yeah. The fuck boys. Yeah.
The boys. With the dirty boys, I like a good tag or a possible tag, the chlamydia exchange program.
Like, don't have to say that quicker, so that's really good.
And when you're talking about trying to find someone to stay, change the word to tricking.
Yeah.
Tricking someone to stay. Can't trick someone to stay. You've gotten lots of guys to come, but they always want to go too. Or so I feel like come in both senses of the word, and go could be equated to stay, and trickery, and because you already mentioned 2 pregnancies and no kids before, so you'd be like, I don't know, do I fake it a little longer until I got the ring and then be like, oops, sorry. Like, I don't know. There's something there. True to form. I don't have it right now, but that's okay. Someone else does. Julia, we are on to you for feedback. What you got?
Yeah, so the chlamydia, it's not that big of a deal. It's just like getting a cold on your dick. And then you threw COVID in there. I like the cold reference better because COVID's really bad, but the whole point, right, is that it's not that bad. Like, it's like a summer cold. It's like a common cold. So unless you want to go like further, into the COVID thing, I think just mentioning it as a cold makes your point better. I agree. The stripper face and whatever body was great. I really, really like that. At work, the wife giving you lemonade and as if she's hoping you drown in it. I mean, that was a good visual because I can kind of imagine like her face as she's saying that and like her tone. Like you said a lot with just a few words with that reference. So that was really good. What else? You had a lot in there. I'm trying to remember what else you even covered.
I wanted to say that I'm not that girl that would be a homewrecker, because my dad was around like as I was growing up. But in reality, my dad was around just enough. Like if he had taken on one more mistress, implying that he had one, then I would have been like a couple decisions away from becoming a total streetwalker. Like
I thought it was funny that you said like 2 bad decisions away because people usually say 1, so it I don't know if that was your point, but it made me listen more, and it was just really interesting to be like, my dad wasn't that bad. Like I wasn't 1 decision away, I was 2 decisions away, like still closer than you want to be, but 2 decisions away. I just thought that was an interesting, word choice 2 instead of 1. Yeah, that was funny. I just forgot about it. You had too much stuff in there, and I forgot about the first part by the time we got to the end.
I know the beginning of the elaborate, like sad, sick, and dirty boys. I've practiced that quite a bit. That's like mostly this year. But the second part of it, where I talk about lemonade and my dad and stuff, that's all stuff that I wrote just yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was performing it on stage, there was a married couple, and I was able to talk to them and relate to them about it, and they really were driving with it. So I wonder, coming from like a wholesome place, talking about like it takes a lot of guts to fall in love with someone because it might fuck your life up. Like, yeah, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I didn't think it was too wordy. I mean, you had a lot of stuff in there. That's not necessarily a bad thing, So that's all I have for now, but I'll pipe up if I think of something else.
Thanks Thanks a lot, Julia.
Awesome. And Victoria, feedback.
In the beginning, you say you were a mother of 2, and then I thought, because you were talking about like that you don't have kids, and I thought you could, I don't know if this is too hacky, mother of 2 lumps of ground up baby. And yeah, that sounds like the right reaction. And then the dirty boys, maybe like you could say I keep giving myself back my own chlamydia every time.
That's kind of funny.
It skipped
yeah.
him entirely.
Yeah.
They're like a squash wall. I just keep back to myself. Keep banging that ball back against my own face.
Downfall of masturbation.
And then you were talking about COVID and chlamydia, and I thought you could say I never got COVID, but I got chlamydia a bunch. I didn't need a respirator, but I did need an ice pack, or I don't know the details of chlamydia actually, but you could add something like that you did for comfort. I don't know what I'm saying.
No, I think you have something there. I didn't need a respirator, but you said it's 1 pill to get rid of it, right? So I don't know if it's something people would recognize. But I think
have chlamydia? Am I the only one?
I've never had anything.
I've never, yeah.
No, I don't think so.
We're learning so much. This is helpful. This is the sex ed I never got.
I don't have enough fun. I can't get chlamydia. Oh.
Come
I
sit
quickly
weekend
know.
at Charles.
I'm married 11 years and I was homeschooled, so. You're the only one having any fun, Cara.
I just want to say to you ladies, I always wear condoms. Okay. It was only when I thought I trusted my partner that I got chlamydia. 'Cause they were cheap.
Huge mistake. Never trust anyone.
Well, that and the guy is supposed to be the one wearing the condom. I think that's where you're fucking up.
Yeah. So I'm not supposed to, like,
You just put it over your head.
She's like, let me just. Okay, now go in.
And also with condoms with my pregnancies, like when I first told my family about that, they're like, Tara, you need to be. I'm like, that was my only contraceptive and it failed.
Mm-hmm.
And I fuck a lot, so it's gonna fail eventually. It's a numbers game. All right.
It's a numbers game.
For any Tinder members that are watching, Tara fucks a lot. You guys go swipe right.
Yeah. Oh yes, you started with that. You started with that, and then I forgot it. You were saying it's a good place if you're looking for a sperm donor or if you want to be a sperm donor. That was like the first line. And it was funny, and then I forgot it because of all the other funny stuff.
Glad you liked it.
Awesome. Do we have any more feedback on Tara's set before we get moving on to Victoria?
No,
All
that's
right.
it for me.
Then we are moving on to Victoria. Victoria, tell us some jokes.
Okay, so these are like really half made jokes, like half, I don't know. They're half done. They're halfway done. I gotta pee is code for I gotta poop. I just wanted to see if that premise worked. My boyfriend just started to learn how to skateboard or skate or whatever you call it. To give you some context, we're both over 30. So, and as we all know, skateboarding is a young man's game. Anyways, he started skateboarding and the neighborhood kids think that he's super cool. So now whenever he leaves the house, they come out of their homes to watch him do stuff and potentially skate. Which fine, but they also watch me hang out in the backyard, which I hate because I'm not into being someone else's reality show. And since I don't want to tell them to go away, I just started playing free jazz really loud in the yard, which really yucked out the kids. So now I overshot. Now they won't even greet us anymore. I wish more people would go to therapy so that I wouldn't have to go to therapy. That shit is getting really expensive. And a lot of you owe me. You owe me a lot more than you'll make in your lifetime. How much do you think I could raise doing a GoFundMe and just sharing the link with all your friends and family for your therapy, you know? And going to therapy is not going to make you weak, and crying won't make you weak. But crying because someone didn't say hi to you that morning is going to make me lose all respect for you. And before you say something, so will drinking or yelling or punching walls or whatever. You know, drinking because you got rejected is super lame. You don't look as much like Archer or Rick Sanchez as you think you do. You just look like a puddle of emotions, and you smell like a hobo. You look like how my cat feels after I come back from a 3-month vacation. Not as sexy as before. No, I'm kidding. My cat is hella sexy. So stop pretending that you're Jason Statham in his movies and go to therapy like Jason Statham in real life. Because unlike Jason Statham in his movies, you can't jump out of a moving car, but you can be a real asshole sometimes, like Jason Statham in real life. So go to therapy. Let's see, what do I have here? Stop hating yourself and everyone around you while you're there. Your self-worth is more than how much you make, your job, or how much you can lift. Because spoiler alert, anyone can make a ton of money, get a job, and get abs. Not me though. I'm destitute and I weigh 200 pounds, but I could if I wanted to. I just don't want to. Yeah. Sorry, I'm so sorry. This is like really,
You're good.
really drafty. Oh, and stop seeking help from me. I'm not qualified to help you. There's some people out there who've been through 10 years of training just to talk to you, right? This is their moment. Don't ruin it for them. Let them prove themselves. Just like, it's like they're Rocky and you're Apollo Creed, you know? Except this is like Dr. Lautrec and crippling depression. And choose your weapons. I think that's all that I have. Yeah, I think that's all that I have. I'm all tapped out of new stuff.
Awesome.
That was a weird way to end. I'm so sorry.
Bye. That's my time. Okay, bye. Still awesome. You know what? Half jokes coming to the workshop means that we get a lot of room to play with the feedback. So I actually super love half-baked jokes, and I usually bring all of mine here for that particular reason. All right. When you started off and you said I gotta pee means I gotta poop, we actually have, like, I have noticed a pattern. When someone says I gotta pee, they're usually going to pee. When someone says I gotta go to the restroom, that's when they're going to drop the kids off at the pool. So it's very, you got to listen to the wording. If they're going to pee, okay, fine, liquid. You got to poop, spray twice, light a match. I'll see you in 20 minutes. Let's see. Your boyfriend being the neighborhood cool guy. When the kids start, like, you know, inevitably watching you too, well, then your neighborhood cool guy's old lady. It's like, this is not a role I signed up for. I've played Tony Hawk Skater Pro 2. She's not in it. Leave me out of this. Like, I feel like there's some kind of like old lady correlation. Like,
yeah.
You're a free character. You're like an NPC kind of thing. Like, these kids sign on for Pro Skater. Quit watching the background characters.
You know what's funny about this? Like, my boyfriend grew his hair over the pandemic, and it used to be short. Now it's super long, and he's got curly hair. And he wears his hat backward. So now he is a skater. Like, he wasn't when I started dating him. And he's become this hipster guy. Like, he's got a penny board that he takes everywhere. And like, he's learning how, I don't know. It's just, it's so weird. And I haven't changed. I'm still
so
the
now
same
I feel like
dork.
there's even more room to take this to like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Cause like, one, that's an iconic nostalgic game that a lot of people our age know about and will identify with. And then, of course, all the kids are, you know, wanting to gather around and watch this guy. Cause like, oh, he's the little scared guy in the neighborhood. And you're just like, fucking leave me alone. Bye. Like, skip over the cut scenes. Don't watch me. I feel like there's a video game kind of correlation there.
Yeah.
Your idea of everyone else should go to therapy so you don't have to, like therapy by proxy. It's like, we'll do the work so you don't have to. It's like, you know, I've been doing this enough. It's your turn, okay? Like, you fix your problems. I can't do it for you. Like, there's something there. But therapy by proxy is all I wrote. So maybe that was the tag I was going for. Go fund my therapy. There's something there. We could make an app like BetterHelp me. BetterHelp pay for me. Like, there's something there, like PayPal. If we think of like the Cash App kind of apps along with the mental health ones, somewhere they can be put together. But yeah, like go fund my therapy or BetterHelp me, something like that.
BetterHelp you.
There we go. See? BetterHelp go fund my health. So there's something there. But yeah, the self-worth, your self-worth is basically based on the appraisal that other people give you. So I feel like the worth and the appraisal, there's something there. There's probably a Pawn Stars joke or something like, you know, my self-worth was determined at a pawn shop, or some guy selling Rolex watches determined my self-worth. Or I feel like there's something, swap meet self-worth, garage sale self-worth. There's something like a thrift shop or something there.
I like the pawn shop reference.
Yeah.
Best I can do is 20. I don't know. like something like that. And you'll be like, oh man, come on. My therapist said 45 at least. And let's see. And then don't come to me for therapy can then also go back to like therapy by proxy. Like, I already paid my portion. Go find someone else to pay for your fix or something like that. That can call back to the therapy funding and the therapy by proxy. Like there's some way to tie all of that together. Do I have it? No. Rewind throughout the show. I didn't have it then either, but at least I'm consistent. But yeah, that's what I have as far as feedback. Victoria, those are all awesome premises with a lot of places to go. So let's see where Julia takes it. Julia, what's your feedback?
Yeah, so I really liked your wording. I'm not into being someone else's reality show. I thought that was really funny. And then I don't know if this is where you want to take it, but I was thinking like the first lady. Nobody wants that job. Like, she just gets sucked into it because her husband's the president, you know, or vice versa. Like, you can't say no, but everyone's watching you. You have to, you know, be careful about how you dress and whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know if that's where you want to take it, but I immediately thought first lady. It's like the worst job ever that you never asked for. I really like the premise more. I wish other people would go to therapy so I didn't have to go. I assume you mean that like whenever there's conflict, usually the problem's on both sides, right? And like, I've been working on me to the tune of thousands of dollars. Like, maybe you should work on your side of stuff. That's kind of what you meant, right? It's like,
well, it's probably a better way of looking at it. But what I meant is literally I get to therapy and I'm like, this fucking guy is bothering me so much. He's such a piece of shit. Why? I don't know how to talk to him anymore. And then my therapist gives me tips on like how to deal with this particular person.
So is the idea that like if he went to therapy, he would be less of an asshole?
Yes, I'd like to think that.
Yeah. Okay, that's how I took it. So yeah, that's a great premise. Okay, you look like how my cat feels when I go on vacation for 3 months. That's funny because how do you know how your cat feels? Like, that's just, to me, that's like such a cat lady thing to say, and I love it so much. I love it. I'm a cat lady too. It's fine. But the fact that you didn't say you look like how my cat looks, you look like how my cat feels. I don't know if that's just kind of like a little I pulled out of it, but I thought that was really funny. Okay, and then the phrase crippling depression. What? You guys? Oh, I think I got an echo. Okay, so the phrase crippling depression as a punchline, always my favorite. So I like that. Okay, that's all I have. That's all I wrote.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
Awesome. To tag on to your first lady example, all I could think of is I'm on exhibition because of your ambition. So, and
it's true.
Yep. Those words popped in my head. Use them, take them, leave them. I don't give a fuck, but let's find out what Tara's got to say about it. Tara, you're up for feedback.
All right, so the pee is poop line. I always like calling pee and poop number 1, number 2. I don't know if this is hacky or overdone, but if it's like, I got to take a number 6. I have to take like a 17 and it's urgent. Like, okay. I think it's been done, but I like it.
I've never heard it.
Okay.
I've heard something similar, but not in that sense. So parallel thought, we can have it.
Movie or something. He's like, I got to take a number 5. What is that? 2 2s and a 1, like this sort of thing.
Yeah.
I like that you said how everyone else should be going to therapy and how they owe you that. And it's so true. It's like, I've been going to therapy. I've been working on my self-love and my mental health. What the fuck have you guys been up to? Like, wow, why am I doing all the hard work? I just really thought that was a cool premise. And the therapy at the GoFundMe, I just thought like, oh, you could have like a QR code. Made me think of like a homeless person holding up a sign being like, having a QR code and being like, for therapy. Because that's like, no longer like, I need to eat. It's like, I would like to take dance lessons. I don't know. I want to better myself and I'm too poor.
Need to process trauma.
Yeah. I'm sober, but I need a place to stay. I don't know, this sort of thing. Okay, so how you also mentioned that like people still think that drinking is cool, which I think is a funny thing, especially because I'm in my 30s now and all I hear all the time is people complaining about what their hangover feels like, but they keep doing it. And it's like, yeah, like drinking isn't actually cool anymore. It's actually cool to have hobbies like your QR code, your dance lessons, or karate, or whatever. You're doing parkour now, but you're drinking water. Yeah, drinking isn't cool. People still do it to like seem cool, but if you have ever talked to a drunk person, it's like the most repulsive conversation. I can't believe I used to put up with it when I was in the service industry. It's almost like I would put a blinder on and pretend that they were still a real person, and they just people still smoke cigarettes too, just to tag that on. Okay. Okay, so stop asking me for help. You're not going to listen anyways. Have you ever like had someone first meet you and they're just mystified by all your great advice, and they start hanging out with them more often and they start taking you less and less seriously, and then somehow they come about to the resolution. They're like, guess what? I started drinking more water and all my problems are solved. You're like, that's what I told you to do before you ever spent all this money on medication, before you started fucking all this other shit, right? Okay, so I don't know if that happens to you guys. It seems like it has. Oh, and then I also, just to finish up what I was saying, an amazing set tonight, Victoria. You've made me laugh and feel related to so many amazing and unexpected moments, and I couldn't think of a better way I would have liked to spend my Friday night, so thank you, ladies. That's it.
Aww.
Thank you.
That was awesome. I'm going to echo that. I think this is like one of the best workshops I've ever hosted. Now, it may have had something to do with the fact that it was all women on the panel tonight.
Maybe.
But Jesus Christ, like the feedback, the conversations that we had, the jokes that were told, this was a no holds bar fucking fun zone, man. And I am here for it.
You guys are cool. You guys are really cool.
Yeah, ditto.
You guys are totes cool. We should hang out and do this again. Like,
yeah,
absolutely.
We should do there should be a ladies' night on the workshop.
Hey, Scott, if you're watching, I will volunteer for ladies' night on my Sunday night regular hosting schedules. So
ladies' night.
Yeah. Ladies,
we
we'll
all
hook it up on
Feelings,
Sunday.
right?
Come to Feminism Church.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Everyone show their tits. Okay, 1, 2.
I'm not doing it.
Oh,
Only one person.
okay. So I guess we know who the brave ones are in this room.
We do.
Oh, that
All
was
right.
great. You just flashed and someone was like, I'm not doing it.
That was
Time.
me.
I was like,
The homeschooler was
forgot
like, I'm not doing it.
what?
Tara is the only brave one. Well, I feel like she's the only brave Tara. She's actually pushed a baby out of her vagina. So
I pushed
Right.
2 babies out of my vagina.
Jesus
What?
Christ.
Oh, not at the same time. I mean, they're 6 years apart, but
Still.
we're fighting to get through the doorway together. Like, no, me first. Nah.
You're like, don't fight. You can both go. Like,
yeah,
Don't worry, it's wide enough for both. No, I'm just kidding.
sorry.
the movement you did. Like,
Oh man, you know what? Vagina humor's fun. You think guy comics get to have all the dick jokes? No, we've got our own brand, and it's better. Okay. So, you guys, that actually brings us to the end of another beautiful comedy workshop. Before we do get out of here and finish off the rest of our Friday nights, everyone, let's go around and tell the people that are watching where they can find you and what you got going on. Julia, let's start with you.
Okay, so you can find me. Just look up my name on Facebook. That's the best way to find me. I have a online show tomorrow night at 8:00. It's going to be Facebook live stream, so that'll be fun. And then TCC is one of my favorite places to do open mic, so I'm there on the 25th, I think, whatever's a Wednesday. And then I've been really busy at work, and that's finally, thank God, slowing down. So we'll see what's happening in the next few months. I'm excited to get back to doing this more.
Awesome. Now, when you say TCC, are you referring to the Tacoma Comedy Club?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Just wanted to clear that up. Yes, Tacoma Comedy Club. Check out their open mics. Check out their shows. Live comedy. Go support it. Tara, where can we find you and what do you got going on?
Well, actually, sorry, Julia, what are you on Instagram? I didn't catch that. Sorry.
I'm only on Facebook. I don't have Instagram.
Okay, and it's just Julia.
You just look up Julia Irely and you'll find me. And I already added all of you guys, so I'm already stalking you.
thank you.
So I am at Tara Buchanan on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, all the social medias. It's just Tara Buchanan. And I produce 2 shows. One is called the Speakeasy Comedy Show. One is called the Fishbowl Comedy Show. This is kind of what the graphic looks like for Fishbowl. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
This is the sign I made so people would donate into this fishbowl that I got from the thrift store at the actual show.
That's awesome.
So Fishbowl is every Wednesday at Koi, Calgary, Alberta, 7:30 p.m. Speakeasy is an Instagram live show last Thursday of every month at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. I also produce the Speakeasy podcast, which is a weekly podcast. We're on our 9th episode. I'm on my 9th episode. 10th episode is going to drop in the next couple weeks, and it's just going to be me. I've only been doing guests so far, so I'm excited about just having a me podcast and listening to all my crazy thoughts. I'm performing next week. Don't know where, don't know why, don't know when, but I'll let you know on my Instagram and Facebook stories. See you there.
Go follow and stalk Tara. Find out where she's going to be. Say hi. Give hugs. Victoria, what you got going on? Where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter at Victoria for Days. I have a Facebook page that is brand new and I've got like 10 people liking it. So if you want to like that, that would help my self-esteem. I'm going to Sudbury, Ontario soon. So if anyone listening out there is from Eastern Ontario and wants to book me, just message me. I would love to perform in Ontario. That's it.
Yeah. Hit her up. Go hire her. Hire funny ladies. And me, as always, you can find me on Instagram at Tara Christian Comedy. You can follow my company, Loaded Relaxation Comedy, on Facebook. click on our link tree, the QR code, whatever the hell you want, but that's going to tell you everywhere I'm at, ticket links, shows, dates, social medias, virtual tip jars, the whole 9, shows that I produce and everything in between. I might even throw a couple of these on there for you. Who knows?
Well.
So, I do it for my OnlyFan. Okay. Oh God. But you guys, this was seriously by far one of my favorite episodes. And that was because of you guys, the fantastic, wonderful guests, the panel, the funny ladies. You guys, I had such a good time with you tonight. I hope to see you all again in the future. And if you liked what you saw, tune in every night. 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, where you can catch the Comedy Workshop. Different host every night. I'm usually on Sundays. Kevin will be here next Friday. Until then, peace out and stay funny, party people.
Bye.